Hey everyone, how's it going? Like Butter here, and today I am going to be starting a brand new series over here on my main gaming channel. This is going to be a League of Legends series called Ranked Replays, where I basically replay a ranked match that I played in the past, of course, and we go through it. I talk about my thoughts during the match, and I basically have a huge commentary over this long ass gameplay. So we're going to be playing Nocturne Jungle, and to give you guys a background about me, if you're new to my channel and you don't know much about me, I am not a spectacular League of Legends player. I consider myself very, very average. I'm just here to bring you guys good, entertaining videos to help new players and also to get your suggestions so that I can become a better player. That's one of the main reasons why I'm doing this, because I like going back and watching my gameplays and seeing what I do wrong, and I am very inspired to get better at this game and to, get very good. And I feel like getting more than one opinion will really help me out in this. So this is my new series. I hope you guys enjoy. And this is the rune set that I was running, of course, with the summoner spells, smite and flash. For my marks, I'm running attack speed. For my seals, I'm running armor. For my glyphs, I'm running scaling magic resist. And for my quintessences, I'm running armor penetration. To be completely honest with you guys, I'm a little nervous about this because I never do videos that are this long unless it's like a live commentary or something. So I am using LOL Recorder for this, so you're going to be able to see the entire stats on screen. I'm going to be scrolling around the map. It's not going to be on me the entire time. I'm going to be showing also my teammates, because this was a 5v5 ranked match. So sometimes I'll do solo queue. It'll probably be more 5v5s than anything. But we're doing very well. The other night we were I think we had 2-0, and before that we lost one match. But it was like the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like, everybody's League of Legends crashed, like our entire teams, and 2 of our players couldn't get back into the game. It kept saying something about I don't know. It just kept crashing. But anyways, so I'm starting off at blue, as most Nocturnes do. Well, technically at wolves. And this was a little strange. This Maokai started wraiths. I mean, I guess you could. Most Maokais that I've seen personally, I don't know how they are at the higher level, but usually start wolves and then get blue. But this Maokai started wraiths, and it threw us off a little bit because, as you're gonna see, I go up and try to make a play here after getting blue buff. My initial intentions were to start red. I never start red with Nocturne, but I wanted to ward our blue and start red, just because, like, the last couple of games, teams have been invading big time, and it's hard on this side when you got, bottom can't really get behind, so they can't come up and defend against the invade, really. So what I wanted to do was put a ward on blue, and if they invaded blue, just go right to their blue and take theirs. But what I decided to do instead was to, considering that Maokai is a pretty slow jungler, he doesn't do much damage with his auto attacks, and he can only spam so many abilities when he's only level 1. I decided to go up and steal his golems really quick. Yorick was a little bit overextended here, but as you can see, my friend Eaton, he was playing Cho versus Yorick. He wasn't doing very well, but then again, in my opinion, no one really counters Yorick. I mean, I guess you could survive against him, and Cho's a good pick for that because he's tanky. But Yorick definitely wins most lanes. So I made a little bit of a mistake right there, and I didn't know if the bush was warded. The way he walked towards me just looked like he was about to head right into the bush. And if you look a little bit before, they did have a ward in that bush. So I don't know if they saw me go to their golems or not. But fortunately, I was communicating with my mid. I told them, I'm having trouble. I need to get out of here. So I use my Dustbringer and I get out. By the way, this Nocturne skin is possibly my favorite skin in the entire game. I do main Nocturne, and that's another thing about this that I want to talk about, is because most of the videos that I've posted over here on my channel have been games where I've played mid. Not many people know this, but I main jungle. I feel like I'm the best in the jungle. I like playing jungle the most, and I just really don't record my matches, but now that I downloaded LOL Recorder, I can do that. And I feel like this series is going to be really fun because not only is it going to be entertaining in a way, because I'm going to post losses, I'm going to post, you know, great wins, I'm going to post a whole bunch of different stuff. It's going to help me learn, you know, because I can't get better by myself. I need help. And I know a lot of people out there, I've gotten a lot of comments on my League of Legends videos, and I can just tell that you guys know what you're doing. So it's greatly appreciated that if you know, just kindly tell me if you have any suggestions for how to play differently next time, anything like that, about my build. It doesn't matter. I want any type of suggestions in the comment section below. So right here, Cho is low. I think he's about at 300 health, something like that. He's pretty far down, and Maokai came up, and they get a kill, and that's the first blood right there. And I unfortunately wasn't really in position to do anything. I was gonna come up and try to cover for him, so that's what I do here. Just try to kind of scare them off because that minion wave was pretty big. I didn't want them going up to that tower with that minion wave, because even though it's really early game, I don't know, you never know when they could dive, because Maokai is super tanky, so I didn't want to take any chances. So just went up and cleared it out there. And if you guys think I should do this in a different way, let me know. I'm basically, you can look in the bottom right hand corner, I was just watching while recording with Fraps, and just dragging it around to try to get the best angles on what was going on, even though the directed camera does a pretty good job of it, of going to where the action is. I tried to do it as best I can, so if it gets a little jolty and a little skippy, I do apologize. But right here, Nunu and Kog'Maw are bottom. So these, basically, let me give you a brief description of my team. So my good friend Chaos Nerve, who used to be Optic Nerve, is playing AD carry for us. Wu-Tang Trauma, formerly known as Defy Trauma. You know, I was in Defy with him. I was also in Defy with Nerve, so we've been good friends for a long time. And so top lane, other known, his name's Eaton, but I mean his real name's Aaron, but he used to be Optic Eaton, so I don't know if people followed the Optic competitive Call of Duty stuff that went on. I think it's probably like a couple of years ago now. It was in Modern Warfare 2. So that's who's playing top lane for us, and this is the kind of like a Cinderella story, to be honest, as Kog'Maw dies bottom lane. Our support is somebody that I think we found off of Reddit or off of some website. I don't know. I don't remember. So, like, we were talking about trying to find a support, and this dude that we picked up is awesome. He's super nice, super polite. Like, you know, doesn't rage at his teammates. He is an awesome support, plays the position very well, and it was a very good catch, you know. So there are ways out there to find teammates for those of you who are trying to play League of Legends. What I'll do is I'll check with my teammates to figure out how they got in touch with them. Maybe I'll put a link in the description below for you guys to maybe if you need to find a team or whatnot, because League of Legends is such a team-based game that it's ridiculous. Like, it's so team-based that it's good to run. Like, it's a lot more competitive when you're playing 5v5s, and yeah, anyways, I'll let you guys know about that. So right here, I'm just trying to clear as many camps as possible. It looks like they just got their blue buff, and our bottom's pretty steady right now, but what we're trying to do here is Trauma was trying to, like, he snuck into that bush, and this Yorick, I don't think, like, we were talking about it during the game, they thought that possibly it was warded because he would just not push up. He was playing very, like, eerily, that's not a word, he was playing very, very conservative, and we weren't sure why, considering he was playing aggressive like the entire game. But when I go back top lane, you'll see that he was just not moving. So it looks like we could have seen the ward on the LOL recorder, so he didn't have it warded. It was just strange. And I go back here after covering mid, and they're going to start moving towards our blue buff. So right now I took myself out of position, but I decided to not go back and go towards blue to try to fight it, because it was pretty obvious that they were going that way. You know, they all just, you know, mid's missing, they just ran that direction. And I guess this wasn't a great engagement. I wasn't sure that Fizz was there. Maokai dies, but it wasn't a very good trade because 2 of us died and we only got 1 of them. So it might have been better just to give up blue, but we wanted to contest it just to see, you know. And unfortunately, it didn't work in our favor. I had no mana at the time, so it probably would have been better just to give up blue. But anyways, bottom lane's doing pretty well. Got Caitlyn pushed under tower. You don't see that too often, but Kog'Maw is very, very good against Caitlyn because of his range. I think he has one ability. It's not his E. I know his E is like his slow, which does percentage of health, which is really good. But I think it's his W that increases the range to either equal or more than Caitlyn's range. And Caitlyn has like the most auto attack, like the biggest range in the game when it comes to auto attacks. I think it gets a little weird, like late game with Tristana, it's farther. I don't know. I just know that Caitlyn's usually always got the person she's playing pushed under tower. So it's funny to see her pushed under tower right there. And Kog'Maw's ult's got so much range. Oh my god, it's unbelievable. So that was a really good pick against the Caitlyn. So it looks like Maokai is moving mid. God. Let's see. Oh, this is where I go up. And that was a good counter trade right there. Because, like, they were under turret and it's still early game. So we're fortunate enough to get both kills. So it was 2 for 1, which was good. And like I'm kind of proud of that, because sometimes what you see is you see junglers with no awareness, but that usually happens with games when you're playing by yourself. I ran right up, and that's why, oh my god, Nocturne is so good in the jungle because of his ult. There's so many times where I know where their wards are, and I'll gank and know that they won't see me on the ward because of the range of my ult. It's so awesome. So my mindset here was to just push mid tower and get as many hits on it as possible. I told my teammates to let me know if anyone goes MIA, because there's 2 dead, there's 2 bottom, and there's 1 top, which means that I could get a lot of hits on that tower, and that's what I did. I brought it down to like a third of the health, a third of the total health bar, and now I'm just going back and trying to clear those minions that I didn't finish off because I had to go in and fight that. So looks like Cho's doing pretty decent top lane. Like I said, Yorick's really tough, and I think there's no one in the game that can really sustain better than Cho against the Yorick. So I mean, that could be wrong. I just seen, like, I use this website called Champion Select, and it's kind of a website for low elos, to be honest, to just see who's good against who. It shows like who are counter picks to who's strong against who, and it tells why. Like, that's where I get a lot of my information, is I read you know, comments from people of high elo, low elo, and you just compare it, and you can like give thumbs ups and thumbs downs. It's a pretty cool website. I might put it in the description below, or if I forget, just go to championselect.com and you can literally type in any champion and it'll tell you who's good against who. So right here, this was a major mistake on my part. I was very late to that team fight. I saw that there were 3 people bottom, yet I still went for red buff. So that was, like I said, that was my fault right there. We definitely could have won that 3. If I came down and it was a 3v3, I feel like we could have won it, because look, 2 of them are getting away with almost no health, and you know, with my fear and my spell shield, I would have been okay. And I remember at that moment too, I was like, alright, I'll be down in a second, I'm gonna get red buff, and that really cost us. So that's one thing that I can look back on and learn from, and realize that, okay, I'm gonna make sure that I don't do that the next time. So Aaron comes down and gives a pretty good gank right there, almost kills Fizz, but Fizz decides to stay right here because the tower is low and we got 2 mid, and I take advantage of his low health and him staying around and push this tower, and actually I go in for him right there. But Fizz is someone who's super hard to gank or try to kill as Nocturne, because as soon as you use your ult, he's going to use his ability that he flips and can get away pretty easily. And if he gets away from my fear or out of range, it's pretty much useless and it just cancels it. So here was a pretty good fight right here. Yorick was in front. I was yelling at my friend. I'm like, dude, Yorick's it's the one in front, and he's like, I can't believe I'm that stupid. Like, I play Yorick, and I didn't even know that it was the guy in front. So when Yorick ults himself, he gets like a little ghost, and the ghost will always have full health right away. So the Yorick in front that had little health was the real one. So once you kill him, he takes the spot of his body, which is super annoying. And that's what makes Yorick really good in team fights too, which you're gonna see in a little while. His ult is really, really unique. I don't know any other ults like it besides, I think, what's his name? Mordekaiser? I think Mordekaiser has sort of a similar ult, but it's different. Like it's like this huge ignite, and then I think the person that you kill, if you use your ult on them and then they die, you get like a ghost pet, but you can't. I don't know if you can control it or not. I think it's uncontrollable, but you get the 75% of the attack damage of the actual champion, stuff like that. But Yorick's ult is crazy because he can ult like an AD carry in a team fight, and after the AD carry dies for like 15 seconds, that person can use all of his abilities, move around. It's crazy. It's really, really good. But here Maokai had a good gank bottom, and I'm trying to see where I am right now. This is kind of hard. I'm watching this in Sony Vegas. The screen's pretty small, but I probably should have been down there to do something about that. Look at that Tarek. That Tarek legitimately got out with like 10 health or something like that. I don't even know. Some crazy ass number. So seeing that I wasn't bottom for that fight, and I know that Maokai died, I decided to take this time that I had to go and counter jungle him. Seeing that he's not going to be around, and I know that, you know, top's probably not going to be going through their jungle, I can go through and I sneak wraiths, and I also sneak red, and of course leaving a little minion at each camp to make sure that it doesn't respawn until they destroy it. So I'm pretty proud about that. I mean, I find myself getting caught sometimes when counter jungling, because sometimes I don't really counter jungle at the right time. But I see an opportunity here to come up behind Yorick, and even though he flashes, it's going to be too much for him to get out with the Cho pop-ups in my fear, and he just gets nommed. Here's an opportunity for us to get some hits on top turret and possibly get that down as well. But Maokai comes and covers, and we really can't do much about it. At this time, my friend was like, do you want to dive this? Because like you can see, Oriana's coming up from mid, and we possibly could dive it, but I was like, I don't know, it's Maokai, I don't want to risk it. But then for some reason, like, he gets off the tower and we have a chance to jump him, and so that was a really good kill there. And now that Yorick and Maokai are down, it's a for sure top turret, and that was really good. But as you can see, Fizz is hitting mid, and Oriana tries to make her way back down there, but I think it's a little bit too late. I'm pretty sure we lose the turret. Nope, looks like we're gonna be okay. And Yorick comes to try to stop us, but you know, with the turret that low, I remember I'm just like, yo, just ignore him and get the turret. Sometimes it's better just to ignore the person there so that the turret doesn't target you, and just get the turret completely out of the way. So bottom lane is still, oh my god, Caitlyn, why? Caitlyn's still under turret trying to farm. I saw her, she just lost a lot of farm right there. I played Nocturne for almost an entire month, I think, in solo queue, and I remember I knew Nocturne was a good jungler, but when I first started playing with him, I wasn't very good at all, and I wanted to get a lot better, so I played him for like a month straight, like just played him a lot. And then the next month, I ended up playing him in ranked for like the entire month, and I got pretty decent with him, and I started learning like more about him. And one thing's for sure, Nocturne is so fast in the jungle. Like, once I get my first couple of items, like, it's like clearing the waves in the jungle or clearing the camps. It's just so quick. But I go in on Fizz here not knowing that Yorick was in the bush, and we still get to turn on this and kill him up. And Fizz stayed once again with almost no health, but he gets away that time. But it's good because we got mid turret, and now we're going to try to get bottom to help. Look at this Nunu getting away. And you should never chase Nunu past the turret by yourself when you have no teammates around. I don't know. This Maokai was just having a really, really rough day. And now he's caught. He tries to go into the turret when we clearly knew where he was. So here comes Cho with the knockups. I'm coming down river right now, and Caitlyn tries to come help this Maokai. Like, I would never, ever try to help someone who gets caught out like that, because it just makes it 10 times worse. So I'm going for Caitlyn, and we almost forgot about Maokai. Good thing Nerve cleaned up that kill right there. We clean up Caitlyn, and here's a good opportunity to get bottom turret. So you can see, like, League of Legends in a way is kind of like chess. Like, you wait for the other team to make a mistake, and then you capitalize on it. And it's very slow, and that's why I like League of Legends so much, because it's so, like, competitive, but it feels so good to win a match because it takes so long. And what we did really well is once we got the first dragon, we paid attention to the time that we got it, and then we were just pretty much waiting on the next dragon, and we would get ourselves prepared for the next dragon and get in position to basically kind of move towards it before the dragon spawned again. And that's something that I never did when I first started playing the game, like thinking that much in depth about the game. It makes this game awesome, you know. I really, really do enjoy it, and I'm gonna try to get better at it. I do have like 400 or 500 games under my, even more than that, like probably 700-800 games under my belt. So I'm not the best, but you know, I'm trying to get better. So anyways, this wasn't a great engagement. This was partially my fault. I wasn't sure if they knew we were all in that bush, and it seems like we did. And I'm pretty sure I didn't have much mana either. So this wasn't a great engage. We got the full Nunu ult though. He did tons of damage with that. But the lanes were so pushed that losing this wasn't that big of a deal. It just wasn't a very good engage, and that was my fault. But right now we're winning in gold by a couple thousand, so that's good. And like you see, they're pinging a lot because they're telling him to push. But then again, you got to look at it. It's Tarek. Like, he can only push the lane so hard, and you know, he does like no damage. He's like, I believe that Tarek is one of the best supports in the game. But one thing's for sure is you can't be pinging at him to go get mid turret by himself. That's just not going to happen. So we're up now, and we're just trying to reset. And one thing that I was happy with is how well we shook that off. Like, I see sometimes when I'm playing with my friends and I'm playing with different people, and getting aced like that isn't easy. And I was very, very pleased with the way that our team dealt with it. We were like, okay, well, it's over. It wasn't a good idea. Let's move on and start thinking about what to do next. And sometimes teams like to dwell on things that happen, and it makes everything worse because you're not thinking. And so that was a really good moment. I remember that because it was really important to me that we were getting past things. And that's the same with everything. You know, I was big into sports when I was in high school, and one thing's for sure is if you let the last play or let the last pitch or whatever it may be that happened in the past bother you, it can affect your performance in the future. So it's good that we got by that. So right now we're just trying to group, and here we see Tarek over warding our bushes, and we find this a good opportunity to go after him. But I see the nice little Caitlyn, AD carry, walking around by herself. You know, that's never smart. So we jump on that, and we're going to win this team fight. We got the AoE of, or we got the crowd control of Orianna pulling everyone. And what you see in this team fight is the reason why we won it is because our AD carry was in the back, just tearing everyone apart and taking no damage. He's full health right there, completely full health. And that's the good thing about jumping on the AD carry so fast, and that's why I saw the opportunity. And I felt so bad for that Caitlyn in a way, because I was thinking about it. She was just trotting through their jungle, not knowing what's going on, and then just boom, that scary ass noise with that Nocturne. All that had to be pretty scary. I remember when I first started playing the game, and like all of a sudden the screen went black and I heard darkness. And I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, I was freaking out because I had no idea what the fuck it was. And then months later, I started playing Nocturne. I think its ult is so sweet. Just to know that you're making a difference in the entire, like, I don't know how to explain it really. It's like that you're making a difference in the entire match. Like, the screen gets all dark for everyone just for your ult. I don't know. I just feel like it's like super like cool. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know if I made sense right there, but it's like awesome to know that your ult affects everyone in the game. Anyways, Cho gets caught right here, but fortunately we're here to turn the fight. At this point, we're so ahead in gold that as long as our AD carry was in the back, we were good. And he's just tearing this person apart. And I pick up the kill. We continue on with my Dustbringers and my Fears, and we clean up this, and that's very good because the lanes on the outside are pushed. So we can definitely make sure that we take this turret out, or at least push the lane enough where, you know, we can set up, take their buffs, and do whatever we need to do. But, yep, we're going to take this turret here, and I believe the inhib. And this is what I say every single time that we get an inhib, and it's very smart if you think about it. I think I got a little trigger happy right there on Fizz, but I think it's going to get us the kill. Yeah, it did. Like I said, our AD carry was just in the back shredding the entire game. But we got the inhibitor, so I remember at this point, I'm like, okay, so once you get an inhibitor, it's really important that the entire team groups into a different lane. And I have a huge problem with this when I'm playing solo queue because it's very hard to explain things through typing, and especially to people that you don't know because they don't really understand it. But anyways, we go back, we get Dragon, we get blue buff, all that good stuff. As you can see, we were waiting on Dragon because we had it timed out, so that's very important. It put us very far ahead in gold. But like I was saying before, it's really important to group and push all 5 of you in a different lane than the inhib that you got. Now, some people who are new to League may say, well, that doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't you push the lane that's already pushed? And the reason for that is because if we push another lane, what that causes them to do is put their 5 people in that lane, where you can basically just stall the fight and let mid push. Because as you're gonna see, super minions are ridiculous. Like they kill the little minions in like 2 hits. So that lane is automatically gonna push. And I know a lot of people who have probably played League of Legends for a long time are like, yeah, of course, that's obvious. But it's unbelievable how much I play ranked and I see people not understand that concept, that if you get an inhib, you push 5 in a different lane, and then that way either you push right up their throat and they can't stop you because you have numbers, or they contest you and then they leave mid wide open. By that time, the minions are going to be pushed up to their Nexus towers, and then they're going to have to go back and defend, and then we push that lane that we were in. And it's just like, it's like a game of chess. It's like back and forth, and it's really fun. Like I really do enjoy this game, and it's different from the games that I usually play. You know, I grew up always playing shooters and sports games, and I never ever would have thought in a million years that I'd be playing League of Legends and actually having fun doing it. Some people say, oh, it's like a really nerdy game, or I don't understand it, it's really confusing. But if you watch these videos and you enjoy them, then you'll be able to learn the game without even having to play. And I guess that leads me to my next topic that I want to talk about. As you can see, we're doing exactly what I said. We're pushing a different lane. They come to contest us, and watch how middle lane pushes right up the gut. So, like I said, at this point, I'm saying, okay, just poke, harass, do not engage in a fight yet. Let the minions push, and that's exactly what we're doing. We got, you know, the Cho knockup. I'm using my Dustbringer just to poke here and there. That's the reason why we're not engaging, and that's where I'm showing right here. Those big minions are just basically devouring the little ones. And this is the moment where they start to back up. I noticed that one of them is like they're starting to realize that they're getting pushed through middle. So that's when I engage and we make sure that we get that turret out of the way so that we can do our damage without taking any turret damage. So now we're pushing. This game's pretty much a wrap. We're just basically just pushing it right up their throat now. But what I was talking about is that if you're new to the game, it's not too late to learn. You know, it took me a while to learn. It was very difficult at first, but once you learn the basic concepts of the game, it's pretty simple and it's a lot of fun. So I have a link in the description below where you can download League of Legends for free. It's my link so that they give me like IP for you guys playing by using that download. So it helps me out and it's free, so it doesn't really matter. You might as well if you're going to download it anyways. And what I'm going to do is in the next week or so, I'm going to have a live stream where I help all the new players who you know, are new to the game. And I'm also going to have some live streams and some sessions where I just play with you guys. You know, follow me on Twitter at LikeButter9. Sometimes I invite some people from Twitter to play. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like. I did put a lot of time in this video. It took me a very long time to render it because I have a good computer, but it takes forever to upload. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Take it easy, everyone.